Wonder, can deer smell salt? Will deer find that? There's that good kind right there. That's the kind of clay that's really easy to shape, to make pottery out of, to be able to make tablets where you could write in it, build houses out of it, to seal ponds with it. This really shallow water hole here dries up all throughout the year, and it's always filling up with water and drying up. And most of it's this bog type soil, probably full of nitrates. Probably mixed with water it'd be a good fertilizer. But up underneath it is this good clay like this. So, this is my clay mine. But really mostly here just to get the bog dirt on the top of it out of the way. Use it to seal other ponds, other creeks. The mosquito fish, the few that were in here, I carried buckets of water to it, give them more water. I got most of them out, but I left about 20 in there. And I carried water to them. And then it rained, so they've got enough water, I think. There ain't but a few of them in there. And we'll probably get more rain. Be nice when I get my wheelbarrow fixed. So they're zipping around in there. Just have to take my word for it. I have been successful at getting the runoff water to run into the pond. It's a good bit of work. I finished it. Now, instead of a mud soup, there's a creek. Mosquito fish are in it to eat the mosquito larvae. And all the rain that slides off this hill will be captured and funneled into the pond. Started seeing mosquito fish get tired, the smaller ones first, and wind up at the end of this creek, this man-made creek. See, there's where I used to have that hut. In that other video, it's rotted down. Oh, there's some right there. Miss one. They ran from me. There's some out that way. See that fishy? He's hiding under the pine straw. There's he goes. Let me get all this mud off my hands. That's a bunch. Sorry about all that. There one is. See, this is so much better than just having a mud soup full of mosquitoes. It's having a steady trickle of runoff water with mosquito fish in it. I wonder if it's flowing into the pond yet. There's four swimming together. Probably didn't get them in time. Oh, so I love it. You would have to really want it. Maybe when it fills up, he'll be able to swim back up there, but he may be destined to be in the pond. A few more of his friends. there. It wasn't flowing out again, but today, could be because there wasn't as much rain as there normally was. But I think I've got the grade just right now. I think it should fill up and spill into the pond. It has gotten higher. It may rise high enough to spill into the pond, but for now, all the runoff rainwater from the hill, it's coming to this point. I just cleared all the clogs so it would flow back to this point. And I'm pretty sure it'll, sometime today or tomorrow, it'll fill up high enough to flow back into the pond, and the fishing, crawdad, everything in the pond will be able to swim back up into here, and everything in here swim back into the pond. And it'll be, my swell will pretty much be connected to my pond, and it'll be pretty much like a creek. No pumps, just gravity. There's a fallen tree from Helene, the pine tree that goes across the pond. And it kind of holds this water here behind it until it finally flows. That is just, I just so love to see that. I miss creeks and streams in North Georgia. And so I sort of built it. So I have me one here. I do think it'll fill up and flow around into the pond. I'm not going to help it go the rest of the way. I want it to kind of pile up here, but I'm looking over there, and I think that's higher than where I'm standing. So it should have no problem going into the pond. The first thing I got planted is some elephant ears, and they'll probably do good here. They have so far. It's got a pretty good flow to it. I think it will wind up going out to the pond. I just, instead of digging it to where it flows all the way into the pond, I kind of want it to have to fill up that pool and then flow into the pond. That way it keeps the water level of this creek from getting too, I don't want it to dry up. I want it to flow slow into the pond. So now that I got it flowing like this, I'll start working on slowing it down a little bit. And one easy way to do that is this right here. Just put a rock in it, and it'll hold water back to that level before it falls out. I'll put another one right there. See, it's still flowing, but more water is going to start to pile up behind them, and then they'll go back to flowing. I do think it's going to wind up in the pond. I'm kind of divided because on one hand, I want to go ahead and start slowing it down because I wanted to keep water in it year round if possible and flow into the pond slow, not all at one time. But I probably shouldn't slow it down too much because it's leaking in some areas, flowing a different way already. So I do want it to be able to flow really nice and easy across here. I don't want the water level getting too low. So these rocks help to kind of slow that down. And it's not going to there's enough water in it, I think, that if that was to get blocked up with all kind of sticks and stones and everything, and the water have to get that high before it flowed over, I do think way at the other end is still high enough that that's not going to hurt it any. I'll keep a check on it. I'll see what it does. I'm tired because I've carried a lot of dirt today. There's a mosquito fish right there. If I zoom in, I might. There they are. Better. So instead of the woods being a muddy soup, I want to measure it. That's what I want to do. Because it's a pretty long distance. I just started digging in the side of the hill. There was so many roots in the way. There's that rake. Been wondering where that one went. I wouldn't trust that. Oh, it held me. Started off as just a swell. It started off, I was just catching the water that come off this hill here. I plan to cut these trees out and let light in the area, and then plant my fruit trees by it. And then not have to really water my fruit trees because they can find water. And I'll probably still do that. But now I've started putting mosquito fish in there, and crawdads come from the pond in there. Oh, the sand keeps washing up in this place. This area is sand without clay, so it gets clogged up here the easiest. I've had to dig it out a lot. All that property out there, I don't own it. Past these trees, some of these trees I don't own on this side here. But all that water is going to flow this way. And it's flowing a lot faster now because they cut down 7 acres of trees. and it's getting held back behind this fallen tree that the hurricane took out. That's what them monarch butterflies go to right there. Then some of it's trickling down through the sand and going in there, but a lot of it's just coming around this way because I dug away around it. So a lot of it's flowing out this way. And then I've dug all the way across this valley to catch all the water that would go that way and make it come this way. But I haven't been able to stop all of it and make all of it come this way. But enough is coming this way that I think it is going to reach the pond. And if it does that, I'll be happy. And I love it. I love it. My back's been sore so many days to do this. And that's another way for, deer to come out here and drink water. Instead of it just rushing off the property real quick, it's caught and stored and made useful. Which, I mean, it's always been useful. It's water. But it soaks in more soil. I wonder how far back it'll go this way. I've held enough of it back. Do you think I could blame this on a beaver? Hey, Ravenheart. You think it's believable if I was like, oh, I didn't do that, a beaver done it. A beaver. Now, I've got a home, but I've also got a homeless shelter, so I can flex on them homeless people. And I can't be evicted because I own the property. It's not really homeless. This is where that snake, twice I met that snake on the dam. And once he went right between my legs into the water at nighttime. And that's when I said, I'm going to take a break working out here for the day. Maybe that oak tree will grow. I sprouted it from an acorn. I put it in the... Whoa, look at that. It's a crane. Where'd he go? Oh, wait, he's way out there. I had the camera pointed the wrong way. I'd have to zoom in. He's way over that power line. I mean, that's all you're going to see out of him. He likes to get in that pond over that way and eat bullfrogs and little fish and crawdads. And he probably likes it. I put the mosquito fish in there. And the bluegill that I put in there are still alive. I see them jumping at the surface and eating bugs off the water. Got a machete that's got a saw on the back of it. That's useful. This is not any serious shelter. That's just so I could get out from under the rain and then go back to working. I want to find you a praying mantis. I do have a video with a little one. I do know a place in Glenwood where there's a bunch of them. They're out here too. When it's warmer weather, I see more of them. That's Commerce Street in Alamo right there on the other side of the woods where that truck just went. This is an area that dries up and fills up with water several times a year. And I'm going to dig it out and make it a permanent pond. My back's hurting and I'm tired just looking at this clay. I kind of want to dig some more up and go seal that dam up more, but I've probably done enough for today. I don't need to overdo it. I'll do some more tomorrow. I come out to this part just to get my glasses and my phone and my hat. I don't know if you were watching Ravenheart at the beginning of this video, but I showed where I've got the creek flowing into my pond, or it's almost flowing into the pond. It's not there yet. This is where it normally goes, all the runoff water, and then it goes up under this hill and it flows under the road and goes to the next piece of property. And my pond, when it gets too full, it flows to the same spot and goes off the property. And I've been trying to, because years and years ago, before I ever owned the property, the pond dam broke and it carved this side out really low and made the pond really shallow. And I'm trying to build it back up. And I've took a lot of water out of this pond this year, watering fruit trees. So I'm wanting to put more water back into it. I bend these little trees sometimes and shape them into living huts and stuff. That's where I would put a salt lick for the deer on that stump there. It's getting up higher. There's a mosquito fish right there. There's a few of them swimming around in there. I'm hoping it's going to get high enough to flow into the pond, but I'm not going to help it. I don't want to dig it deeper because I want to keep at least, I want to keep this much water in the creek. It's pretty cool, I think, because it wasn't even here and I built this over. It was just dirt. It was just hill, dirt, no flowing water, none of this. I'll come back and see where I threw them rocks and see what. It's holding up some water behind it. I saw a mosquito fish swim up under the edge of that rock. He's taking him a rest. But I'm thinking it might get high enough to flow over the top of them rocks. And it might not. I think I'm just going to take them out and let it carve and rush water down here as fast as it. I'll worry about slowing it down later. I'll make sure it gets to the pond first. Let's take these out. I'll come out here in a few days and let's see what it looks like. There's some. I scared them when I jumped on that log. They might come back. There was a good bit of them hanging around right in that. There they go. You see? Where's my finger at? Where? Shit. There's one. I don't see him no more. What time is it? It's 4:43. I put acorns all in this hillside. There they are. I'm not fast enough with this camera. There'll be plenty of them. There were a lot of squirrel out here, but they finished eating up the deer corn. Why am I even walking back this way? I ain't about to move no more clay. I need to figure out when Brittany's getting off work. I need to fill up them water jugs with more of this creek water too. Neighbor's building a little house over there. I could go that way for no reason. It's near about to become like a jungle. The hurricane put so many trees down. Some willow trees. Look. That's a big acacia tree. But those are willow trees up under here. I'm gonna get enough fruit trees out here and nut trees and chicken. Like there's 11 chicken eggs in the chicken pen right now. And how many extra roosters? I always keep a spare. But I got 4 extra roosters. Eggs at the house, eggs in there. Collard greens growing and broccoli growing. There's a lot of trees. The wind might blow on just right and they fall on my head. That looks wedged in there pretty good. I want to just go wild. I'm about ready to. It's a magnolia tree. I didn't know I had a magnolia tree that big on my property. I thought all the big ones were over on the other end that I wound up not buying. I went the easy way. If I go to the right, it's a lot harder to walk through. If I go this way, I'll probably wind up on the top of the hill over there by. Yep, there's my greenhouse. But see all these trees? That hurricane wasn't playing. It turned. There's a cedar tree. That cedar tree's happy about it probably. It's getting a lot more light now that all them pine trees got knocked down. Them grapevines probably like having this pine tree to grow on. Vine to get more light and probably make more grapes. I killed a rattlesnake over here when I first bought the property at about this area, a little bit further up ahead. And I ain't seen one since. That's a cedar tree too, right there. The cedar trees have been growing pretty fast on this property. I don't think I'm supposed to eat those. What is that? I see them all the time, but I don't know what they are. It's yellow on the inside. There's an oak tree. cut them pine trees down because they was taking too much light. I don't want to shade out my fruit trees. I got a little olive tree right here. That's a Spanish olive. It's a slow growing tree, but it'll be worth it. Somebody in the future will be real happy I planted them. They start making a lot of money when they get older. They just take a while. There's another one. It's an apple tree with a lizard in it. Thank you for eating them bugs off my apple tree, Mr. Lizard. You can keep on doing that. I don't want to scare you too much. I got a couple birds that have learned they can fly in the house, and me and Brittany and the dog ain't gonna hurt them. And they just come and hang out, fly in and out the house. Normally they visit in the morning and leave. That's a little olive tree. That's one of them that I thought died, but it didn't. It just died above the ground, but not below the ground. There's another one right there. There's a collard greens. Let me zoom out a little bit. I ain't planted that many of them, but the leaves will get bigger on them. And there's broccoli, mostly broccoli. There's a pink eye pea trying to grow when it ain't time for it. It'll wind up dead. Those are lime trees. They're not looking too good. It is an evergreen. I know it's the fall. I don't know. They might have to go in the greenhouse. That's a peach tree. There are different kinds of peach trees. Some of them drop their leaves a lot sooner than other ones. There's another olive tree. I passed a few I didn't point out because I got tired of saying there's an olive tree. I planted a lot of this lavender, and the bees don't really like it as much as that AutoQuest. So I kind of got mixed feelings about planting so much of it. Well, they ain't looking too good, but they're alive. Those probably ain't all alive. Those are probably mostly dead, but it'd be easy to get those two coffee plants through the winter. I was supposed to pot them up. Kept putting it off. But they're easy to clone. I'll have a bunch of them in no time. Winter, coffee don't really like growing in America, in Georgia in the winter time. I gotta bring it in the greenhouse. I planted a little oak tree from an acorn here, and it's a year old almost. Well, it's probably about a year old now. It's a tiny oak tree. That cedar tree is still doing all right, I reckon. I planted a bunch of acorns in between all these, in rows where these little pine trees are. Probably should dig them up and sell them. I don't know if people are going to want to buy pine trees when I don't know what kind of pine tree it is, though. Probably need to take a break from working and all that, those waterworks, and come out here and get all this grass away from these fruit trees. And these blueberry bushes. This is AutoQuest lavender, except there's some English lavender in the back right there, but that's AutoQuest. Most of this is. And I'm gonna clone them. I think it's just a lot easier to clone them than, these are clones off of those bushes. And another one down that, two more down that way are. I got my sleep schedule all messed up, and I stayed up to get it straightened back out, and I haven't slept a lot, and I've been doing a lot of work while sleepy, and now my mind is lagging. It's running slow today. I kept a lot of these flowers because a lot of the native bees were going to them, and they don't have a lot to eat now that it's getting colder. But once them flowers die on them, I'm gonna chop them down and use them as mulch for the fruit trees. Need to get them some clean water. I ain't letting y'all back out. Y'all got ate by a hawk. I had them out wandering around for most of the day till it started raining. And now it's not raining and they want to go back outside, but I ain't staying around to protect them from hawks, so they gotta stay in here. Let's see. 11 eggs. Y'all got any in there? You ain't got any in there. I don't think they're gonna try to hatch out no eggs as cold as it is. You ain't gonna do nothing. You about to watch me take all your eggs and not do nothing. You really ought to be ashamed of yourself. I used to have a rooster that would attack me for doing this. Now y'all staying in there. I ain't got time to protect y'all from hawks. I'm about to go home. There's a pomegranate bush. Probably about to get off alive. I don't think I'm gonna see a praying mantis today. I will get one eventually though. I'm gonna get off alive. Get off alive.